Dynamic entry, welcome back to the channel, guys, and today I'm going to be talking about two of my favorite things: basketball and anime. That's right. Now, what you might not know, unless you are a basketball fan, it is playoff times. That's right. And what that means is that it's win or go home. It's down to the nitty gritty, and we are specifically in the conference finals. That means two teams from the Western Conference and two teams from the Eastern Conference. Those will go on to play in the championship game, and that will crown the winner of the NBA season. Now, this year's playoffs have been kind of cool because we don't have the usual suspects in it at this point. Usually around this time we have like the Lakers, the Celtics, the same players like LeBron or Steph Curry, the ones we're used to seeing. This time it's a whole new fresh bunch of faces that we weren't expecting. So in the Eastern Conference we have the Indiana Pacers and the New York Knicks. The Knicks, a very historic franchise. They've been here before, but they haven't been here in decades. The Indiana Pacers, however, have never won a championship, so this is like new territory for them. And in the Western Conference, we have the Minnesota Timberwolves and the Oklahoma City Thunder, two teams that have never won a championship. So all in all, a brand new pack here of champions, of potential champions. Ones that we've never seen claim the throne might claim it. So if you're into parity in sports, which is pretty much just like a varying degree of winners, it's not always the same person over and over, the NBA has been pretty good about that the last decade. We haven't had a dynasty in forever, it seems like. And this year is no different. We're gonna get somebody brand new, maybe a start of a dynasty, who knows, but this is like uncharted waters for a lot of the teams here, and especially the players that are here. And that is the main focus of this video today. I'm going to be comparing the 4 stars from each team to anime characters. That's where the anime aspect comes in. I've done this before with players around the league. You can watch that right here, where I just kind of took a whole group of like the best players at the time. But now, having new players at this far late in the season, it's kind of fun. So I was like, you know what, let me just dive back in and give you guys some cool comparisons to some of these potential champions. Okay, so starting off on the Eastern Conference, I have the Indiana Pacers and their star, Tyrese Halliburton. Now, Tyrese is an interesting player here because his career started off in Sacramento, and he was highly touted as a draft pick, but they traded him for one of Indiana's high stars at the time, and at that point, it was seen as like an even trade because the guy they got in the trade, Domantas Sabonis, helped out the Kings, Sacramento, a lot, and Tyrese helped the Indiana Pacers a lot, so pretty even there. But this season we saw that Tyrese was up and down, and he, I guess, stole the spotlight at this point because he is further in at this point than Sabonis is at his point. And it got to the point to where the NBA held an anonymous survey and it quizzed the players around the league, and they asked, hey, who was the most overrated player in your opinion? And Tyrese Halliburton was the winner far and away. Everybody says he's not as good as he claims he is, and that his success has been kind of a fluke at this point. And at this point in the season, he's kind of proved them all wrong. He is properly rated. He's carried his team to this point in the season. And those who voted for him, saying he's overrated, they're all probably at home on their couch watching the TV, watching this player ball out. So for the overrated aspect, for me, the comparison that I'm going to give him is Naruto. People see him as a main character. They're like, yeah, he's fine or whatever, but he's a bit overrated. He's kind of annoying, but as he grows and matures throughout, Shippuden, he becomes a hero worth mentioning, worth, the praise that he was hoping for when he was growing up. Like, I want to be the Hokage, same thing, Tyrese Halliburton. I want to be a champion, whatever. He's grown into that role. Now, he might not be the most talented player, talented ninja, but he works at it and he's carrying the expectations he's had for himself well up until this point. Yeah, there are those who probably hate on him, but you can't deny it. He's got some skill at the end of the day, so I think that Naruto fits Tyrese Halliburton very well. Not a lot of people probably like him, same with Naruto, like as a main character, but hey, he's earned the respect because he's come so far into where he's at currently in his career and where Naruto's journey came to. So for those reasons, that's why I have Tyrese Halliburton is the Naruto of the NBA universe. And the player he's playing against on the New York Knicks is going to be Jalen Brunson, the point guard for the New York Knicks. So Jalen's had a pretty good couple of last seasons. He came from the Dallas Mavericks, at that point living in the shadow of Luka Doncic. His dad, who works in the operations of the New York Knicks, strong-armed his way of getting his son there, some people feel like. And when he got to New York, everyone was like, oh, he might be good. We'll see. He had a good couple seasons with Dallas, but let's see where he goes. And he's actually stepped up his game so much that he's the star of the franchise, of one of the biggest and most popular franchises out right now, which is New York. But as far as he goes as a player, my comparison for him is going to be Todoroki from My Hero Academia. Why? Because it's pretty nail on the head here. He's hot and cold on the court, I feel. There's points in the game where he explodes for like 35 points and he's making all of his shots. Everything's going down. He has the momentum. He's steaming on the court. Everyone's like, damn, get out of his way. He's going to find a way to the hoop and a way to get, easy buckets. And there are some nights where he is ice cold. He'll give you maybe 15 points if he muscles it out, finds a way to the free throw line, and he'll go like 10 from 24 from the line, and he'll just be ice cold, mainly on the days that I bet on him. He's burned me too many times that way. But yeah, he's very up and down as a player. For the most part, he is good. He carried the franchise to where they are currently. He helped turn the organization around. But there are times where I'm like, what are you doing? You should be the one carrying the team, and he just doesn't do it. Also, Todoroki, hot and cold, obviously, his ice and fire powers, but the demeanor in which that he acts, he's very calm, nonchalant, as the kids like to say. He doesn't really let things bother him too much. That's kind of how Jalen Brunson is, no matter how the game's going, or if they're up or down. He's just pretty much stone-faced the entire time, just like, yep, that's what it is. Yeah, we're winning. We've got a couple of games to go, or yeah, we're down. We got to win some games. He's very, very calm, very chill. And his father that I mentioned earlier, who is like part of the operations of the New York Knicks, he also played in the NBA. So if you want to go another further level down there, Endeavor, Todoroki, Jalen Brunson, his dad, although his dad wasn't as good as Endeavor is in his field, as far as basketball goes, there is still kind of that fun little connection there. And that's another reason why I chose to compare the two. So for me, Jalen Brunson is Todoroki. And on the Western Conference, we have the Minnesota Timberwolves, led by their star, Anthony Edwards. So if you're into basketball at all, you know that Anthony Edwards is being pushed as the new face of the league. He reminds a lot of people of Jordan, the way he's, wants to win. He's very tenacious on the court. He's determined. He has like a confidence about him that really no one really else has on the court. Like they might have a quiet calmness. No, Ants is in your face. He's like, yeah, I'm going to win. I'm going to beat you by 30. I'm going to give you fucking 30 points by myself. You can't guard me. That mindset. He's, the embodiment of like a true dog on the court. So for all those reasons, my closest comparison is going to be Yusuke Urameshi from Yu Yu Hakusho. They both have like the same attitude, just like, I want to beat everyone's ass. Like, I don't care who, no one in here can beat my ass. That's pretty much the attitude that Anthony Edwards has. Like, nobody in here can guard me. Like, there's nothing you can do. And they have the same just mindset. When I see him, I'm like, yeah, he fires me up. If I was playing on Ant's team, I would be just like, I'm gonna help you. Whatever you need me to do, I'm gonna do it for you because we're in this together. Like, you are a true leader on the court. Off the court, his antics, a little crazy. Also, so is Yusuke's. He's a little wild boy sometimes. And that's another layer in which they are compared for me. But yeah, that's mainly the whole thing is like, who's the biggest dog in anime? That's what I had to think to myself, and that would be Yusuke. Like, he don't care who it is. He said it himself. He'll beat a grandma if he has to.
I don't care if she's a girl or a baby or somebody's grandmother. I'll still knock her out.
He don't care. And that's Anthony Edwards. If your grandma was on the court across from him, he's crossing her up and giving her 40 points. It's no big deal to him. And when you're watching Yusuke fight, you're like, I know you can go further. You're probably stronger than what you're showing me right now. There's like another level to you. And eventually he does. He becomes like, full demon or whatever. That's Anthony Edwards. We're watching before his transformation. We're watching him like, base level, he's pretty strong, but as he gets better in his career, he's gonna learn more techniques, and maybe he'll learn like that demon mode, and he'll get a championship maybe this year. That's his turning point. Maybe this is where we see the full demon Anthony Edwards realized. So Anthony Edwards is Yusuke. That's my comparison for him. And finally, we have the newly named MVP as of today. He is the MVP of the league, the face of the league currently, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander for the Oklahoma City Thunder. Now SGA, that's his nickname, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, for those who don't know. I'm going to be referring to him as such. His biggest comparison for me, it's a whole meme within the NBA community that he has aura. Like if you go around him, just rub him a little bit, you'll get his aura. And who is the biggest aura merchant we know in anime currently? That's going to be Jinwoo from Solo Leveling. And they've had kind of the same trajectory as far as like training goes. The way Shai started off in LA, he was a Clipper. He was kind of like, he was good, but he got traded for a reason. He wasn't anything special at the time. He has potential, but nothing crazy. And over the years with this Oklahoma City team, he's grown and become the player he is today, the MVP of the league. He has a smooth game. Nothing seems too hard for him. He can score from every level. He's a great passer. He actually rebounds pretty well. He's overall an amazing player currently, MVP for a reason. But yeah, his journey from just a bench player rookie to where he is now, it's been a crazy ride. And that's the same thing with Jinwoo, from the lowly level, like, oh, nobody, you're easy to beat. You're just like a nobody basically. And then he reawakens and becomes the Jinwoo that we know. That's the same thing there. And then taking it a step further, the Oklahoma City Thunder, his team, kind of remind me of Jinwoo's shadows. All the players on Oklahoma City Thunder, they're really good. They have like amazing depth. That's what they're known for currently. Like, they have depth for days. They've had all these first round picks for years, and each player they've picked pretty much has been like really good. So Chet Holmgren, that could be his Egress. Then we have Jalen Williams, that's his Beru. Like, there's so many things. There's like comparisons between the two that it's just so funny. Like, I just imagine like just Shea walking on the court and then like an edit of the shadows popping up, and it's the entire Oklahoma City Thunder roster. That's what it feels like. And it's just like nothing's too hard for him. It's relatively easy, and he's learning more as he goes. He's still getting better, I feel like. So yeah, I just feel like the aura that they both have is just too on the nose. The comparison was there for me. It was probably the easiest one to figure out. Just like, yeah, that's who they are. And like, I think Jinwoo's dressed pretty well. His outfit doesn't have like a silly outfit. So you can go even a step further and say, because Shea is one of the best dressed NBA players, there's another little comparison there. But yeah, mainly the fact that they're both just like fucking aura farming constantly. That's who they are. That's what the biggest comparison for me. So there you have it. Those are my comparisons for the 4 stars left in the playoffs for the NBA to anime characters. Maybe, not maybe, most likely you disagree with me. So let me know down below who are some of your favorite comparisons to make for these players or anybody else in the NBA. I like looking at them and reading them. They're fun little thought experiment there. Yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I tried my best to find the closest to them and like the most relevant characters to them, considering that these are the remaining stars that we have. I'll admit it's some of the weaker pool of stars that we've had, but this is the newest generation of NBA stars that we got. We gotta build them up. We can't keep tearing them down. All right. As much as I don't like some of these players because of the way they play or the way they act, I gotta build them up, because this is what we're gonna be watching for the next couple of generations. All right. It's their time now. We've had our stars in the past. Now we got these ones. And as some of you might know, I'm a Suns fan, so I'm not really rooting for any team in particular, but if I had to pick one, my money's going to be with the New York Knicks, just because I want to see that city burn down after a championship. It's going to be the craziest thing ever. So go Knicks. So thank you guys for watching, and as always, you can follow us down below. Also subscribe. We appreciate that. We're at 555 subscribers. That's pretty cool. Let's get to 600 maybe pretty soon, huh? So yeah, that's the video. So until next time, go play some 101.